So the stories we read about, that's public, behind closed doors, he was helping him with, what to say and what not to say, how to handle the media, but then knew what was going on here. Some of that stuff, when from the outside we see, and I think about if my sons are going through it. I think we had this debate in our a prep meeting yesterday. Was it yesterday or Thursday? I don't know where we were doing it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I said, so let me get this straight. So if my son doesn't protect the other son, they would have a problem with me if you didn't back each other up, right? So that part of it. Now, gamesmanship, there's another thing where if I know Chris's brother is going through what he's going through, I'm not a fool to know your loyalty is going to be to your brother. That's the loyalty to your brother, because in your mind, you're like, my father's watching me right now, you better X, Y, Z. Okay, so that's that part. Then the other part is, as a person running CNN, I can't set you up for failure where you can't be communicating with certain people. So I have to have a clear set of meetings to say, guys, if you do this, you're also gonna get fired. So don't set him up for failure where he can get in trouble, but you also can't do anything because you could get fired. So this is my optics from the outside. I don't know what happened on the inside. If you want to kind of walk us through how some of this stuff take place, what they said and what you said, and maybe we'll go from there.
Well, look, as you guys know, I'm in the middle of an arbitration process.
I know, 125 million, all that, yeah.
And I don't want them, look, it's not about the money, okay? It really isn't. There's no question I was damaged by the situation. I am not going to give anybody the opportunity to say that I was trying to prejudice that process, but I will say this. There was complete transparency and understanding of everything that was going on because it was all obvious. The only thing I take exception to is the idea that I was acting in bad faith or that I was lying or anything like that. I told the audience, I'm helping my brother. I'm not reporting on my brother. If they had asked me to not be on air, I wouldn't have been on air. I offered.
CNN.
Yeah, I offered twice to resign. When things started to get hot, I was like, I don't want to hurt you guys. I didn't know. The reason I apologized, if you listen to my apology, wasn't I shouldn't have helped my brother. It was, hey, if what I was doing compromised you guys in your ability to do what you do, I'm sorry. I never meant for that to happen, and I didn't see it happening. Because it seemed pretty obvious that, CNN isn't helping, isn't what we're talking about here. It's Chris Cuomo who told the audience. I never went to journalists and tried to manipulate their coverage of my brother or use my contacts. And I think the best evidence of that is, where are they? What do you think, they're protecting me? This is the same people who have gone out of their way to say as much negative things as they could. They're not going to stand up and say, yes, you did, you called me. They wouldn't do that? Come on. And the idea of, well, you were going after his accusers. No, I was saying you can't. Now, by the way, I understand why some people criticize and say, hey, that was bad advice you gave your brother. He didn't fight back enough. He should have fought back. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. But the idea that I was some master of the dark arts, ask the people involved. So if they had said, you can't be on TV, I wouldn't have been on TV. They're my boss, not me. If they had said, you can't interview your brother, I wouldn't have. I didn't want to in the first place. That was something that they just thought was worth whatever risk there was with it. But I don't want to jaundice the case. I want this to be settled fairly. It's not about the money. I never lied. I didn't act in bad faith. I didn't manipulate media for my brother. I didn't go after his accusers. I didn't suggest he go after them in any way other than just by trying to say what his side of the story was and say it early and say it often. And it's just all terrible. What happened to him was terrible and painful for a lot of different people, for a lot of different reasons. It took time for me to sink in exactly how big a hit I had taken. I'll never get that back. I love being at News Nation. I love building something. I have so much loyalty and appreciation for them giving me an opportunity. I'm very glad that it's going well, and there's been great acceptance by the audience as it grows. But I was the #1 show on the #1 platform in the world. I was relevant, if not resonant, on everything that was happening in the dialogue in this country. And just like that, it was gone. And it was gone on the basis of things that were already known. That's what was boggling my mind. I was like, wait, I don't understand. What do you mean there was more going on? I was helping my brother. I was listening to his team about what they wanted to do. They were running things by me. I was giving them my take. they almost always didn't take my advice. And maybe they were right, maybe they were wrong. But that's what it was. And everybody knew it. And I told it to the audience. That's the part that boggled my mind. And that all of a sudden, you know, people that I knew and I trusted and I thought, and everything changed. So look, I don't talk about it on the show other than what I've just said, which is to keep it general, because I'll deal with it there. It's not your concern. It's not about the audience. This is about me and my former bosses, and I'll leave it at that. I'll never trash CNN. I have tremendous respect for the outlet and the people there. I think they do great work. I have tremendous respect for my boss. Jeff Zucker, he and I do not agree about what happened here. He is the best mind of television I've ever been around. He gave me tremendous opportunities that allowed me to be who I became at CNN. I cannot take that away from him.
Have you guys had any interaction, dinner since you left?
No.
If you had to go back again, would you have Andrew on, or would that have been something you would have changed?
Here's really the best answer. I would do it again. And I'll tell you why. Is it an obvious, do you fail the journalism conflict? Of course. But you know, conflicts can be cured by transparency, okay? I don't believe anyone in the audience was ever deceived into thinking I was giving my brother a pass journalistically. I don't believe that. I've never heard that from someone who doesn't work in the media. I think it helped people. I think it comforted people. I think it gave them a sense of normalcy and relatability in a time that was completely unnatural and frightening. And if it helped people, even though I knew I was going to pay a price, I just didn't think it was that price. I just think I thought there was just going to be a series of articles saying how I shouldn't have done it. You know, and I even said, you know, if you go back and look, I even said on TV, there's going to come a time when this has to end, because there will be a period of accountability. There always is, right? Mistakes are going to be made. And I can't interview my brother about the mistakes because I'm not objective. I said it on TV, and people always got it.
Yeah.
So for that part, if I could do it again, how could I not do something that I know was of tremendous value to the audience?
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.